Peace. Welcome to the finale of the YouTube live book reading of The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by the great Dr. CHEIKH, edited and translated by Mercer Cook. And we're here. We made it. Divine days and nights. Oh, what a meditation and what a full moon. Yeah, we made it there. I'm so grateful and thankful to be in this position and been given these abilities to use righteously. And you can always count on me to come at that angle. Ma'at Ra, Setepim Ra, Ma'at Ra Hotep. We pick up in the 13th chapter on page 268 at the top. Peace, YouTube. Yeah. It's time for the masters to be masters. All right, so we're in full guard. Have our lekes on, 7 powers, and we're ready to finish out. I wish all the sights and sounds are perfect for this finale. And here we go. The 60th edition of this book reading on this channel. And we're coming in home. Coming into the flight home. All right. Since all these statuettes seem to have a family resemblance, it is necessary to accept the idea of a fertility cult, for it would be incredible that France, Italy, Siberia could have been inhabited by people of the same Negroid race, all of whose women were stereotypic. were whose women were stereotypic. There were rites to obtain the fertility of the herbs necessary to the very life of these hunting tribes. That was an insert. In reality, by reasoning in this way, we avoid one difficulty only to fall into a greater one. The fertility cult during the Aurignacian period could not concern cattle, since it was not yet domesticated, nor could farming be involved, since it was not yet invented. As for the animals, the most one has detected has been scenes of bewitchment connected with the hunt. It could simply be a question of woman's fertility and therefore the development of the human family. But we must stress the rather earthy nature, according to our present standards, of the statuettes. The human skeleton discovered by Leakey near Elementatia in Kenya, in the grotto called Gamble's Cave, too, and which probably belonged to the same human type as the Olduvai man, northern Tanzania of the Caspian, has caused much ink to flow. It is certain that these are not true Negroes in the usual sense of the word, These are men comparable to the Nilotics in the Great Lakes region, or else comparable to the lighter skinned populations of those territories. A skeleton recently found at Naivasha in Kenya obviously belongs to the same type. From these discoveries, prehistorians, historians, and ethnologists draw conclusions of varying importance concerning the early peopling of Black Africa. In the Old Dubai man, Cornevin sees the ancestor of the Nilotic of the Shilluk, Dinka, Noor, and Maasai. He makes him a Caucasoid. His existence, Cornevin contends, proves that it is useless to make the East African, improperly called Nilo-Hamitic, come from India or Arabia. Finally, referring to the Naivasha man just mentioned on the next page, he writes that archaeological research reveals affinities with the Cro-Magnon race: tall, stature, low, wide face, broad forehead, rectangular sockets, thin nose, and little prognathism. There was no Cro-Magnon man in sub-Saharan Africa. At an interview that Professor Valois was kind enough to grant me at the Paris Institute of Human Paleontology, the scientist was categorically about this. Only the Baskop man, the Transvaal province, South Africa, was for a time considered as a Cro-Magnoid having affinities with the Bushmen, but this opinion was later abandoned by its partisans. Cornevin unfortunately continues to confuse Grimaldi man, a Negroid, with marked prognathism and broad nose, with Cro-Magnon man, who is not at all prognatous, but presents in hypertrophic fashion typical European traits: thin lips, prominent chin, narrow nose. There is reason to re-examine the documents on see figure 47. The theory that makes Caucasoids of the Dinka, Noor, Maasai, etc., is the most unwarranted. Suppose an African ethnologist insisted on recognizing only blonde Scandinavians as whites and systematically refused all other Europeans, especially Mediterraneans, French, Italians, Greeks, Spaniards, and Portuguese, membership in the white race. Just as Scandinavians and Mediterraneans must be considered as the two poles, the two extremes of the same anthropological reality, it would be only fair to do the same for the two extremes of the reality of the Black world. Peace. Divine days and nights and highest heart love. We're in the finale. Yes, we are in the finale. Thank you for being here in this intelligent part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. And it's the finale of the African origin of civilization, myth, or reality. We are in the 13th chapter. Thank you for reading books with us on history and anthropology, culture. Very important to the next generation reading these books. I love to provide this service. And so grateful and thankful. We're at the bottom of page 273. We're closing out today. This is the finale. The desperate search, yeah, let's go one sentence before that just because. Negroes of East Africa and those of West Africa to call a Shilluk, a Dinka, or a Maasai, a Caucasoid, is as devoid of sense of scientific validity for an African as it would be for a European to claim that a Greek or a Latin are not white. The desperate search for a non-Negro solution sometimes leads to talk about a primitive stock that might not yet have assumed a differentiated black or white character, or to whitening Negroes such as the Maasai. All the human types found in Kenya, from the Paleolithic to the end of the Neolithic, are perfectly distinguishable as Negroes. There's no doubt about it. So let's drop a pin here. Not guessing. Highest heart love, gratitude, and honor. Peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. And there it is. There is no dispute about it. That's why I also wanted to read this book, because all the anti-blackness in the world is important for those of us that have the power and, if you will, courage to stand up and fight. You know, it's important for us to shine the light on the truth. And as light workers, we're always going to bring something to lift up the people and not to put them down. And so with all the anti-blackness in the world, you know, what they've done to black people in Australia, and look at India and how they treat black people, is just so atrocious. It's like, the warriors, we are out. We're going to slaughter all the lies. And this is a part of that. So thank you for being here, because we can fight in real life. And that's how you show the next generation. It's not being a coward or backing down or, you know, letting them get away with lies. It's calling them out. It's standing straight up and saying, I'm coming and you can't stop me. Mm-hmm. All right. Bottom of page 273. Dr. Leakey, who has studied nearly all of them, knows this. He knows that all the skeletons that have fallen into his hands have negretic proportions in the full sense of the word. He also is aware that the observation by Boulay and Valois on the floor of the nasal fossa is applicable to all the skulls that he has studied. One can understand why anthropologists are silent on these determining points. On the contrary, they readily expand on cranial measurements, for in this domain, except in extreme cases, it is harder to distinguish a Negro from a white. They admit, for example, that from the Paleolithic to our day in Kenya, East Africa, and Upper Nile have been inhabited by the same population, which has remained anthropologically unchanged. With the Maasai as one of the most authentic representative types. Here's a caption down at the bottom, a footnote that says, for this star with Dr. Leakey. In that paragraph we just read, it says, this was written sometime before the death of Louis S.B. Leakey in 1972. Page 274 at the top. To the anthropologist, he is the very type of the undifferentiated Negro. Whenever they discuss the late appearance of the true Negro, we must remember that this is because they do not consider him as such, for he has been there since the beginning of time. Since the Paleolithic, all the skull specimens considered non-Negroid, following the measurements of Leakey and other anthropologists, are really those of his archaeological forebears, from whom he does not differ morphologically. Dr. Leakey and all the anthropologists will confirm this. If he were not a living reality, his skull would have come out white, or in any case, denegrified by their measurements, with an orothagnathasis or thagnathus face held high, a thin nose, high forehead, etc. Even alive, he is not a Negro in the view of the so-called specialist, but the authentic type of the Nilohamite. I invite the reader to verify this. He will simply find these facts confirmed. Anthropologists have invented the ingenious, convenient, fictional notion of the true Negro, which allows them to consider, if need be, all the real Negroes on earth as fake Negroes. More or less approaching a kind of Platonic archetype, without ever attaining it. Thus, African history is full of Negroids, Hamites, semi-Hamites, Nilo-Hamites, Hametics, Ethiopoids, Sabaeans, even Caucasoids. Yet, if one is stuck strictly to scientific data, the archaeological facts, the prototype of the white race would be sought in vain throughout the earliest years of the present day humanity. The Negro has been there from the beginning. For millennia, he was the only one in existence. Nevertheless, on the threshold of historical epic, the scholar turns his back on him, raises questions about his genesis, and even speculates objectivity. The true Negro of the anthropologist, who now inhabits west of the equatorial West Africa, has existed since 10,000 BCE. Unfortunately, the conditions of the tropical soil do not readily permit the fossilization of bones, and it is hardly probable that interesting finds will be made. For a long time to come, this will leave the field open for any and all hypotheses concerning the population of those regions. Cornevin, Ops citation, page 81. On carefully rereading Bowman and Waterman's Les Peuples et les Civilisations de l'Afrique, the only ethnological synthesis on Black Africa, Mr. Cornevin will realize that he is mistaken and that Central and West Africa are inhabited almost exclusively by Eastern Hamites. If we are to accept the conclusions presented in the volume, the difference in the intellectual approach of the African and European researcher often causes these misunderstandings in the interpretation of facts and their relative importance. The scientific interests are, yeah, the scientific interests of the European scholar with regard to African data is essentially analytical. Seeing these, seeing things from the outside, often reluctant to synthesize analysis of the facts and constantly postpones ad infinitum the stage of synthesis. The African scholar distrusts this scientific activity, the aim of which seems to be the fragmentation of a collective historical African consciousness into minute facts and details. That means they're trying to just slop stuff into, oh, it's just this or that, instead of taking a whole, if you will, compendium of the facts and lining them up. They just want to nitpick. That's what he's saying here. And that's the point we got to. Thank you so much. Fine days and nights. Yes, sacred. Oh, abundant risings. Highest heart love, Coco. We are in the final reading. This is the finale of the African origin of civilization, myth, or reality. Yes, we made it. We're on the last pages now. Divine days and nights. Thank you so much. The mods are in the building. Peace. Mia, and salam alaikum. All right. Page 270. If the African anthropologist made a point of examining European races under the magnifying glass, he would be able to multiply them ad infinitum by grouping physiognomies into races and sub-races as artificially as his European counterpart does with regard to Africa. He would, in turn, succeed in dissolving collective European reality into a fog of insignificant facts. We've completed chapter 13. And so here's 47, item 47. I'll read it to you. Three skulls, lower Cro-Magnon, middle Grimaldi, and top modern Sudanese Mali. Compare the middle with the lower and top, especially for any resemblance to lower or difference from the top. There you go. Now you see the skull. Look at that. Now you see the skulls. Told you, Dr. CHEIKH and Tajab put it all together. So there's no doubt about it. The African origin of civilization, myth, or reality by Dr. CHEIKH and Tajab and edited and translated by Mercer Cook. So there you go. See the skulls. Yeah. All right. Now this is the Hottentot Venus on the left and Steatopygic Aurignacian statuette on the right. The Hottentot Venus mold. C.F. Boulay and Beloit, fossil men. This is very, very key and imperative. Put this on the pre-highlight yesterday. Okay, so this is the hot and top image. See that? And compared, that's pretty much identical. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. There's Black people all over this world, and we've been there for a long time. And so this is just reinforcing reality. Yeah. Yes, she was a warrior. Thank you for putting that, Coco. Yes, can't you tell, right? Yes. That's right. The originals. Mm-hmm. All right. And 49, Leakey's crushed Aurignacian skull from Gamble's Cave 2. You see the pragmatism. Look at that. Wow. We just are completing another book. This is so amazing. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you. Really, really, really. All right, and here we go. 50. The Sahara cave painting of a Negro woman. From J.D. Lejeune, Les Merveilles du Tassili and Ager, Paris editions. So powerful. So powerful. Look at this. Another woman. That's why I tell you, women lifted up our entire society. Women. So emotional reading this book. Isn't this beautiful? Look at it. Beautiful. Cave painting. From the African origin of civilization, myth, or reality. All right. We've completed chapter 13. On to the last. Conclusion. Page 276. The condensation of our work that you have just read has by no means exhausted the subject. It is merely a progress report, prepared on the basis of documents available to us at the time. It is also an indication of the direction in which future generations of Black African scholars must continue calmly to work, for salvation lies at the end of that effort. Our various publications are rough outlines, successive stops in a scientific attempt to get closer and closer to the facts analyzed. It is therefore understandable why we never rewrite a work once it has been published. We prefer to pass it along to the following stage for a new publication. Meanwhile, we never fail to reply to the body of criticism addressed to us without concealing all the difficulties raised by our adversaries. In this connection, one can refer to the second part of Anteriority. Research has made a prodigious leap forward in recent years with the emergence in French-speaking Africa of a young generation of scientists harnessed to the task of delving into the most diverse questions relative to human sciences. L'Afrique dans l'anted, l'Antique by Theophile Obanga. Theophile Obanga. We love you so much. Thank you for all your work, Dr. Obanga. Pouvoir politique en Afrique by Pathé Digne. The writings of Boubacar, Lai, Sosu, and Sugan, and others inaugurate a new scientific era in Black Africa. The Africans are determined to show that this immense effort of cultural renewal will never depart from the scientific level to descend to the emotional. This is one reason why, at the plenary session of the International Scientific Committee on Editing a General History of Africa, a meeting held in Paris in May 1971, under the auspices of UNESCO, I propose three preconditions to the preparation of Volume 2 on African antiquity. All three proposals were accepted. Thank you. Awesome. Man, he said, the room looks nice, man. Gratitude. We've seen it built up. And if you go back in the past book readings, you'll see when a lot of this was bare, and we just kept manifesting and, adding on. So gratitude and eyes on. Thank you for being here and reading with us in this peaceful part of YouTube. We are closing out another book. Did it again. And the champs. I propose three preconditions to the preparation of Volume 2 on African antiquity, and all three proposals were accepted. 1. An international colloquium assembling Egyptologists and Africanists in Egypt for the first time to compare points of view of the anthropological identity of the ancient Egyptians. And 2, an international colloquium on the decipherment of Meroitic and ancient writing of Nubia. 2 meetings scheduled for Cairo, November 1973. And 3, an aerial survey of Africa to retrace the ancient network of roads. If by scientific knowledge we can eliminate all forms of frustrations, cultural and others, which victimize peoples, the sincere rapprochement of mankind to create a true humanity will be fostered. May this volume contribute to that lofty objective. May this volume contribute to that lofty objective. We did it. And you did it. Dr. CHEIKH and Tajab. You did it. We now know. So grateful and thankful for all of you reading with us. We have completed another book live from the light on YouTube. The African Origin of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Dr. CHEIKH and Tajab, and edited and translated by Mercer Cook. We did it. That's completion. So, I wanted to take you back to the beginning and let you have this. This was number one. We never looked at it. And I never showed it. But this was one of the pictures and diagrams in this magnificent book that we just completed. I'll read at the bottom. It says, 1. The Sphinx, as the first French scientific mission found it in the 19th century. This profile is neither Greek nor Semitic. It is Bantu. Its model is said to have been Pharaoh Shephren, circa 2600 BCE, 4th dynasty, who built the second Giza pyramid. Sketch of them measuring. This was one. We did it again. I'm so grateful and thankful. Energy flows freely through me. Prosperity and love are attracted to me. Harum Akit. Harum Akit. Did it. We did it. Let's hit the chimes in honor of completion of another book, as well as all our friends and family. Solar returns. Bernice Riley, happy solar return. We love you so much. Love you all the way over in Philly. Yes. Uncle Merlin, Aunt Stephanie, Uncle Marvin. I called you the other day. Happy solar return. I love you, Uncle Marvin. And to all those that have elevated, that are not here with us on the planet anymore, but have risen into the spirit ethers, send you off with this glass of love water. We honor you. Thank you so much for walking with us. Highest heart love. I love you. I love you. I love you. Highest heart love and happy solar returns. We really shook it up on YouTube again with this book reading, right? Woo! So grateful and thankful for all I have now and all that is coming to me. All right. So I did prepare something to read special. Let's hit the chimes first, and then we'll see. I want to read it. Powerful. Grateful to catch a live reading. Awesome. Much love. Thank you for helping me to manifest all this. Look how it's just growing. Look at all of it, right? It's really something else. So, share with you as the light is coming on, right? We're in full garb. Yeah. Sacred day. All right. Look at this. Let's go. Ring the chime. It's a new day. Dude. Fine. The African origin of civilization, myth, or reality is now complete. The African origin of civilization, myth, or reality is complete. Thank you for being here, and love to the family. Look at the dinka. Isn't it beautiful? Thinking of donating it to one of the museums around here. It's beautiful, right? Thai family. So grateful and thankful for all of you. Thank you for reading with us. I got a new lamp I'm excited about. We manifested this beautiful lamp yesterday. So can't wait to put this together. Fine days and nights. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 700 on this peaceful part of YouTube. And we've completed another book. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you. It's a high level. And so let's see. Look at this. Wow. Let me do this because passing this baton of information on to the next generation. So let's go into the color of my sky is black. Turn this off. And I titled this poem, You're Still Like Us. You're still like us. Let's not. I'm going to do remembered change. That's right, Coco. That's the one. Let's do this. Remembered change. Troubled and heartbroken last year, this time. Jubilation, pure joy, free and humble. Really loved and motivated this year. No life in the soiled sand last year. Deep, rich, dark, black soil this year. Last year, everyone's life mattered. White hate rejuvenated. Black lives matter from now on. Black history loves us, and it matters more than ever. There is so much in the world to see, lost before or just forgotten last year, found and remembered real Black history. To finish your purpose puzzle, you'll find African history, ancient Kemet, and Kush is the key. Bonjour, Ma'a Rahotep, Unka Uja Sened. The African origin of civilization, myth, or reality is now complete, live from the light here. Thank you. Merci. Shukran. Gracias. Dankeschön. Grazie. To all of you and to Dr. Sheikh Antidop Theophile Banga Mercer Cook. With balance, respect, and love, honor. I was told, I'm gonna just tell the story out, right? We have to stay in harmony and coordination. And so grateful, thankful to be able to do this for you. I remember when I first started reading books on YouTube, I started and began with civilization or barbarism. I was told to stop reading it. I was told, even though this information is very detailed and had been examined, and look at that surface of the sphere, I was told to stop by someone I respect and that is a master in their own right of Reiki. They were like, no, stop that. Let's see. That's how you know you're a real master. And then you lean into it. I said, I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep going. And they weren't happy about it. When I started reading this information back, I started teaching my students this information. I was let go of the job and relieved of working with the Youth Build program. I've lost people that were acquaintances and, because of reading factual information that they didn't want to hear. This is when you know you've really recaptured your sovereignty, because nothing stopped me. I said, no, I'm going to do what I want. When you can do that and continue to build the light around you, that's how you change the world that you're living in. Yeah, that's right. You have to be brave. You have to have courage. Be relentless. That's how I am. Thank you so much for being here. Please, I'm going to say this very loud and clear as we close out. Let me sing I love you. There's no one in the world more divine than me. There's no one in the world more divine than you. what someone's color is, what someone's religion is, what someone's family comes from, has nothing to do with being divine. There's no one's color that is better than you because it's lighter. So all those people in India that have been indoctrinated to this all these years, you're losing your power. To all those white people around the world thinking that they're better than someone because of their skin color, you're losing. You're dying. To all of those people that hate people that are darker than them or because of someone's religion, you need to grow up, learn how to coordinate and harmonize with others that aren't like you. That's the only way we grow this world. That's the only way we harmonize. Stop hating people because they're not like you and learn to harmonize. Ay, 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 ay. Love, 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 love you, 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 you. Ay, 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 ay. Love, love you, 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 you. You know it, because I love myself. We did it again. So grateful and thankful for all my friends and family. Thank you for all of you out there in YouTube land. To all those YouTube creators, stay on your square and keep going. You can't be stopped, just like me. Unduplicatable. No AI. None whatsoever. We just cultivate it with our spirit energy, lifting up the people. I'll see you soon. Peace, peace. When we reconvene with reading a book, I'm going to take a little time off and publish this Manifesting Dreams. It's time. I don't have that much time on this planet. So got more to publish. The beauty of life comes in art, a perception of light. The mind adapts and vision changes. Small synapses generate pictures. In an alternate reality, dreams come true again and again. When it happens for real, this manifestation is not pretend. Belief is understood and followed. Faith and strength are prayed for, spoken out to the universe verbally. Epiphanies are had, then recorded with colors, sacred and appropriately. It happens accurately. Then another vision compounds and it happens instantly, back to a spatial universal anomaly. We dream again. We dream again. Then it's worked for, and it's written down after it works, and it's listened to and taught. We hear it, we feel it. It's even more than it seems. Become it and do it, and I'm manifesting dreams. I love you. I will see you when I see you. Peace, peace.